this video is going to focus more specifically on the continued question then. So if it's not genetic, why does it seem that there's obviously a variation amongst people and their management of drinking alcohol? And if we just again, for the sake of just operating on the same set of beliefs, just for the sake of argument, if we accept the fact that alcohol is addictive to everybody, which is true and which is a fact, then why does it seem some people become addicted much quicker or much more intensely, or that some people don't seem to be addicted at all? And we can see this in everyday life. I mean, we can see it, just paint a picture of you're sitting at the bar with a few friends, and you've got a friend who has a couple drinks and goes home. And then you've got a friend who's on their 15th drink and they're passed out, their head down on the bar. First of all, there are kind of two points to the answer to this. And the first one is, we make assumptions about what other people are experiencing when it comes to alcohol. And the reason we make these assumptions has to do with the narrative that we've been told and that we have come to believe, accept, and confirm with confirmation bias, that some people have a gene that means that they become addicted to alcohol. Other people, the majority of people, do not have this gene. They're lucky, they get to drink and have a good time. Other people who have this gene eventually realize that they can't drink, and too bad for you. So because we just accept this explanation, we assume that people who have the 2 drinks or even the 4 drinks don't have a problem. They come to work the next day, they're bright-eyed, they're cheerful, they seem fine. And this gets to the heart of assumption. We are assuming, because we have this belief that there's a box that people check and they're alcoholic, and there's a box of everyone else, we're assuming that maybe when we're struggling with the question of alcohol and the way that we drink, that everybody else, when they come to work bright-eyed and cheerful, that they're fine. And we don't talk about it. It is taboo. And again, it's taboo because of the belief that if you are questioning it or have a problem with it, that you're an alcoholic. And nobody wants to be in that box, in that category. Nobody wants to stop drinking when they need to, drinking alcohol. And so it's, as you can see, it's kind of this cycle, and it's almost like brainwashing, because the explanation is the definition, which is the explanation, which is the definition. And so it's this kind of feedback loop. What if we pause and consider the fact that we don't know, because we don't talk about it, because it's taboo, because of the check box that marks you as an alcoholic? But what if we considered the fact that the person with the cheerful, bright-eyed facade is suffering from a headache, or threw up, or went home and drank a bottle of wine? These things are very much the reality. And we know that there is such a great variation in reasons for this. And as I explained in my previous video, there is so much variation in the human experience around our personalities, our genetic predispositions towards mental illness, our history, the environment in which we were raised, history of trauma. There are so many reasons why people travel down the spectrum quicker or at all than others. But it's not because there is a gene, which I addressed in the previous video. So as we can see, the answer to the question, why does it seem some people can drink alcohol and others can't, some people can drink alcohol and be just fine and others can't, is based on 2 things. One, you're making an assumption that people are fine. And along with that assumption, you're making an assumption that all of our circumstances are the same, and that trauma, environment, personality, other genetic predispositions have nothing to do with it, when in fact they absolutely do. If we were able to exchange information to the degree that our entire history and environmental circumstances and experiences in life and family conditioning and other types of beliefs beyond alcohol, if we were able to kind of rate those and exchange information, we would be able to see the reasons why some people travel down the spectrum into completely losing control of a life that was at once very happy and healthy and thriving, to now losing custody of their children. There are reasons for that, for the same way that there are reasons why we have friends who love to ride roller coasters and friends that hate roller coasters, or we have friends who are disorganized and friends who are very organized. It's the same. The explanation for all of this is that the human experience and our responses to the addictive substance of alcohol are as varied as we each are. If we could control those environmental circumstances, all of that other conditioning that kind of contradicts the conditioning about alcohol, personality, other circumstances, if we could control that and put everyone in a lab with the same background, same experiences, same conditioning, and hook everybody up to the same amount of alcohol, everybody would become addicted to alcohol. So I hope that helps, and it certainly makes way for interesting conversation.